We're live.
Okay.
We are
Life.
We are liveys.
Live.
We are in
Live.
the live moments.
Excellent. Welcome, YouTube. Welcome, world. How's it going, world?
You're on for that world thing.
We're on the World Wide Web, streaming for everybody, everywhere, in all time zones.
But you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put a new title screen up. But you know what? A new thumb.
A thumb?
YouTube, get your life together. I've not put a new thumb in. Get it? A new thumb. Yeah, okay. Delina.
I will keep the other the launch. I'll keep that up as well.
Yeah, keep it up just in case something happens there. What order did we have? Was it Aliens versus Predator versus Colonial, whatever the hell it is.
We have well, we got the shorts down there first. We're talking about that.
Oh yeah, shorts. Oh yeah, shorts.
Is this shorts?
The shorts. All right, we'll go live in about 30 seconds.
Lift. Oh, we are a lift.
Well, we'll go, you know.
I know, I get it.
You know what I'm talking about.
I get it. I get it. You're walking to be up.
15 seconds, why not? 10.
Suspense.
5,
Oh,
4,
suspense.
3, 2, and welcome. There's a bug in here. Hey, welcome.
Hey.
It is what is today's date? Today is March 3rd, 2021.
The third
and
Trace.
welcome to Not Your Average Show. We are remote today, if you have not already figured that out, because Corey's in his remote location. How are you today, Corey?
I'm doing well. Yeah. I mean, I think as I told you, we've had a malfunction in the washing machine. So if anyone out there watches the video later and you find your washing machine, your clothes washing machine, smoking, it might be the bearings in the drum.
Or it could be French. Or nobody wants to hear your dirty laundry.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
Jokes.
Yeah, so you're dealing with that. And we are fresh off of a couple of things we got to talk about. Us.
Yeah.
So let's just do this for a quick second. So yesterday we were setting up. We started about 3 o'clock in the afternoon to capture Starlink 17 from our primary location along the banks of the river, the Indian River, here in at the Space Coast. And when we got there, right, what was the weather? Was what? It was marginal, right? It was pretty good. It wasn't bad.
It was nice. It wasn't that bad. There wasn't much wind, which if you've watched our past streams, you know we've dealt with some wind. But I mean, it quickly turned south, as you might say. Unfortunately.
Didn't go as planned. So here we are, right? We're getting the table set up. We got our gazebo, our portable gazebo set up because we've got, a couple of laptops and some really high-end, cameras that need protection. Although one of the cameras is fairly sturdy. We're setting this thing up and we're going for broke. We're like, this is great. We're gonna have extra time. We're gonna put in a couple extra transitions. And then
we were actually a little excited. I mean, we not that you guys may know, behind the scenes though, we set up another tent where our other cameras usually go, closer to the water, down below where we sit, and it was like really tucked in. It was nice. It was like
nice.
Cool.
It was cozy.
Setup. It was cool. We're gonna put both cameras there, all under cover of elements, and
yes.
Yeah.
So we actually wait. I'm gonna show a picture of this one because we do have a picture from yesterday because we took it. So this is where we were. Okay, we're at the point in setup where basically we had our lights configured, we had our two overheads configured. Everything was going well. We were just about ready to break out the laptops, and we were really poised to make it go live. And you can see just off in the distance there's the vehicle assembly building and how we had the cameras set up, and we were ready for rain. We were prepared for bad weather. We were still in the middle of the setup, and they scrubbed it.
Yeah, legit. We found out that they scrubbed it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's so if you guys have you ever been in person to watch launches or watched our show even long enough now, you'll know that the scrubbing a launch is actually just kind of part of the show. Not I don't mean our show, but I mean part of like any rocket
Life.
launch.
Yes.
They obviously there's quite a lot riding financially and all everything riding on these rockets, the launches, depending even what they are. And so obviously it's if you've watched the shuttle days, when there's all those like countdowns and everybody's in the room and there's a whole bunch of checks, everybody's got their own little thing. That's all going on with these as well. And of course, cancellations happen. Even sometimes the rocket's ready to go, and the range,
Well,
the
that happened to us the
launch
night
area where
before.
it goes is not clear for some reason, or
Yeah.
in SpaceX's case, the recovery where the rocket lands on the drone ship is bad. It's just
Well, what happened to us the night before, where the drone ship recovery site was pretty much not going to go. We were monitoring it. We didn't think it was going to be that bad, and then they obviously canceled it with a minute and 42 seconds left to go. They said no go, and
yeah,
we were like,
exactly.
we were both standing there like, with our just standing there being like, what happened? Is it going to go? And it didn't happen. So that's an order of business, and
It's part of it.
it was rescheduled for what was going to be this Thursday morning at 3:42 a.m. and then that has subsequently been canceled as well.
Mhm.
So we'll get back to you on the next SpaceX launch, which is coming up in whenever they reschedule, and then we're looking forward towards another date that has been announced, which is going to be, what is it going to be, April 20th, when we put men back into space on another Dragon.
Crew Dragon mission 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That one will be a crowd pleaser. That one we anticipate will be.
That will be busy. We're gonna cover it as we would, you guys would expect we would cover it, but yeah, it's gonna be
That's gonna be a
it'll
busy
be
one.
busy. We are not concerned that our location will be unavailable. We're able to be pretty sure that'll be fine.
Yep.
I am not sure, Mike. We haven't really talked about what our
Data?
backup solution is to internet.
Yes, our
Mobile
internet might
internet,
be saturated on that date.
because we've been like you guys know, we've been to many of those launches, and whether it's even the same place as our past live streams or just anywhere else on the coast, and when tons of people pile into one area, the towers get overloaded, and yeah, you can't do much of anything. I mean,
Starlink.
I know there's been times, not lately, but there was times back in past like manned launches where, no joke, dude, I couldn't make a phone call.
Oh, I know.
Texting wasn't working.
You couldn't do certain things, and here's the funniest thing is, because at the Space Coast area, we have phenomenal internet connectivity throughout most of the general area by the Space Coast, and that's due to the fact that NASA, SpaceX, and all those other facilities, they need quality internet connections, whether it be wired or unwired, and that's a great thing.
Yeah.
But when you get hundreds of thousands of people, which has happened before, that pour in for live space launches, and we do mean hundreds of thousands of people, where the Indian River is literally lined, in some cases 3 and 4 deep, all along the river for people for miles, and the traffic backup can be almost 2.5 to 3 hours after a launch, trying to get off the main roads there. So that's one of the things we're trying
literally
to
imagine if you guys watching the video, literally imagine like if you've been to a giant like stadium and seen like a big game or something like that. You know how it is trying to leave that place if you don't leave early?
Yeah.
That is all of Space Coast
Yes.
after a manned rocket launch.
And you can't leave early because you'll miss it. That's the funniest thing. You can't leave early.
That is the show. We were waiting for that part. Not like, it's not like a football game where you're like, oh, seen most of the game, we're out of here.
Yeah, we're out of here. We can leave early because it's fourth quarter and they got to lead. No, it's not even like that. It's definitely the fact that, you have to stay for the whole thing, because literally the blast off is the part that everybody shows up for, and everybody leaves pretty much at the exact same time. And there is no place to tailgate, and there is no one unified parking lot, and there is no unification of people getting in and out. So that's going to be interesting, but that's coming up in just a little bit over a month and a half. So we're excited to bring you that one too when it pops up. Another thing we have to talk about, Corey, is subs. We have a milestone. We have a milestone. We have reached, within a short period of time, within a week and a half, we went from 55 subs last week to 111. Doubled. And then on top of that, some of our videos that have recently only been garnering 30 and 40 views per episode, some of them are getting into the 130 to the 300s on the normal live stream episodes, but some of our other video content that we've put out there has hit 7,000, 5,000 views and a couple others that have made some headway, which is fantastic.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, we thank you guys.
we
Thanks
do
for that.
thank you number one
Thanks
for
for
that.
the shares, the likes, the subscribes, all that stuff. It's all good. Yeah, thank you so much.
So we had a tip from Harris Heller about a week ago. Corey was watching Harris's stream, and Harris mentioned this word shorts. So why don't
I
you
had no clue what the hell he was talking about.
understood? So why don't you give him a quick description of what a short actually is?
Sure. So again, we were watching Harris. If you guys don't know Harris Heller, he's a guy we keep track on Twitch on. He's there's a whole story there with Harris, but anyway, watching Harris stream, and he mentions shorts, and he's referring to YouTube. I have no clue what he's talking about because we're setting up for another show, and I'm talking to Mike. I'm like, Harris is talking about shorts. I don't even know. Like, literally, I got shorts on. I don't know what he's talking about. And we get into it, and I'm looking. I'm like, okay, it's YouTube Shorts. So
Mhm.
we don't know what they are. So we start looking at it. Basically, so if you guys don't know already, if you're watching YouTube on your mobile device, you probably will have seen somewhere in there, literally vertical video of like scrolling vertical videos, like real quick, like stories or short um, videos that are in vertical format on YouTube.
Yeah.
And that's literally what they are. They're YouTube Shorts. And so what they are, they're vertical videos. They have to be less than 1 minute.
Yep.
And that's basically it. They can still be anything. They're actually, if you guys make videos on your own channel, basically all you do is the easiest way to do it is to shoot a video on your phone, actually, and then just straight upload that to either to your PC, or if you have enough, if you have the ability to just go live, you can just upload it from your phone. But so it's vertical video in less than 60 minutes or less than 60 seconds. And then of course you can tag short in it as well, and that'll help.
And it
But that's
works.
it really.
So the
And
thing
what we're getting with Mike is we thought we'd try it out, and they've done really well. Um, but it's like some of the other things in YouTube where it's not always clear how your videos, if they're shorts or otherwise,
right?
get suggested to people that might be interested in them.
Well, there's a different
There's many.
there's a different
Yeah,
category there though, right? Because the reason why shorts were created, they were created because they basically saw that YouTube was losing market share, specifically losing market share to places like TikTok and Instagram, where people are able to upload
literally short video
format, where they're able to upload these really short video formats, and they're able to go viral very quickly because the attention span of a person that you need to maintain for 1 minute is not the same as the attention span of a person that you need to maintain for 5 minutes. So this is a way to increase exposure. And basically what Harris had said is, hey, what you should really do for your subscribers, what you should really do for your promotion is produce shorts, which
yes, make some shorts.
we did. We did produce shorts.
Tried our hand, and it went well.
It went really well until. So here's the weird part. Corey and I are sitting. We're playing a game on Saturday night, I think it was. And I texted him. I said, "Hey, are you looking?" And he goes, "What do you mean?" I said, one of the shorts is getting a lot of views, and at this point, this thing is getting like 1,500 views an hour. Then it goes up to like 2,000 views an hour. Then it goes to like it's just moving. Then it goes to 2,600, and then it falls off a cliff, like it didn't even exist, right? And I'm like, what just happened? Like, how did someone decide that this thing just fell apart? So we tried it again, and lo and behold, this one went to like 1,300 views, and it just fell apart.
Yeah,
but
but Mike, wasn't the interesting part about that too? When you uploaded the second one, we specifically watched it like right away, and it didn't do anything.
It didn't do anything. It didn't do anything. It took like a day and a half. And last night, I uploaded another short, and again, 12 hours later, it really didn't do much of anything. And then right at the 12-hour mark, just about, this thing shot up to 5,300 views in an hour, and then fell off the planet. So we don't know what the algorithm is. Like, we don't know how it's actually working. We're trying to work our heads around as new content creators what this new tool is, but I don't think anybody knows what it is. So I don't know how you break that barrier of what the suggestion rate is, or if it needs a certain amount of comments, because
it's so new. I'm not sure
don't know.
People will know. And I mean, thinking about this from YouTube's perspective, they don't want people to know exactly how that works.
No,
because if
of
you
course not.
did, I mean, dude, they would literally lose control of the platform.
Yes.
I mean, people will put stuff in and then obviously exploit whatever mechanic it is with the algorithm. And then, but everybody would be doing the same thing. So it'd just be lost in this. And any video that you guys might want to see, like that you are interested in,
Yep.
You might never see that because people have, random videos on Fortnite is showing up on your stream. You're like, I don't want to watch Fortnite videos. I
Yep.
want to watch something else. So, but
It's
anyway.
it's just really strange. But on top of
So,
that, what it also did is I think it attracted the attention of some other material that we covered. So one of the videos that has also kind of suffered, I guess, an auxiliary effect would be the Jet Optera piece that we did. So
yes.
about a week and a half ago, I was perusing the internet just as normal and came through YouTube when I'm doing my normal searches because Corey really turned us on to things like Jobby Aviation, air taxi service, because even though we're
Hmm.
pilots, he kind of keeps a little bit more focus on that. And that's because that's just his thing. He likes it and he shares with me and I go, damn, that's really cool, right? And we look at it.
Hmm. Yep.
And the second part was I found this one that was a competitor or looks to be a competitor, Jet Optera. And
Yep.
Jet Optera has this basically the fluidic flow of air and the way they're doing Bernoulli's principle and the way they're actually compressing their propulsion system and changing the way that people look at air taxi service and propulsion as a whole is actually quite dynamic. It's actually groundbreaking. It's transformative. It could be a major player in reshaping the industry. And lo and behold, and I hope I don't mispronounce this name, because a gentleman started to comment on the video by the name of Andre Avulet, I believe it is. Avulet, I believe is how you pronounce it, but I could be wrong. But if I am,
Yep.
correct me.
Apologies.
Our
Our
apologies.
apologies.
It's not anything that we want to do by accident. And I started
Yeah.
to engage, and Corey and I were engaging in conversation. And turns out, Andre's the CEO of
Whoops.
yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah, good to know. Good to know when you're talking to somebody that. And he was quite impressed at the fact that we actually figured we found it. Number one, number two is that we understood the principles behind it. But Corey and I have had extensive.
We're excited about it
Yeah,
too. Yeah.
we're excited about it.
It's
Number
cool.
one, yeah.
Yeah.
But Corey and I have extensive professional piloting backgrounds in both helicopters and airplanes. So it's just that's this is if this is unprecedented growth as a side effect of what we're doing. We're enamored by it. We're absolutely blown away by it. But to have that kind of inroad at such a short period of time, we're also baffled by it. I guess would be the point. No.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's maybe not unexpected that the videos we make and we'd be excited about would attract people that those videos are about.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to actually literally run into somebody who's running that subject, that company.
Yeah.
And really strike up a good conversation with them, and that's welcome. Yeah, we're excited about it too.
Super excited. So
Yeah.
in the conversation, because you guys can actually see part of the conversation, we're going to continue to engage with
Yeah.
Andre, and we're going to try to grow this channel to the point where we feel we're giving him a successful audience enough to explain it, come on the channel, have an interview, have a sit down, because we are actually salivating for that and
Yep.
that experience, and we're looking forward to that. So there's that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
So that's just getting kept caught up on what has been a pretty weird 5 or 6 days on the channel, which is great, I think. Amazingly enough.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, it's with along the same list as we talked about right there. We'll as we explore, as get further deep into subjects we might be interested in, and you guys find interesting as well. We're gonna maybe looking to do some more of these things, like interviews with people that maybe are in the industry or things that the other let's call them subject matter experts in whatever we're talking about. And we think that would add some value, not only just for us for our own knowledge, because it's really kind of what we're doing here. We're talking about stuff, but also trying to expand what we know.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully you guys find interesting as well. And yeah, so that's yeah, exactly. We should be picking up some more of these.
Excitement by all. Okay, so we still have 2 more topics to get into, and then so which one do you want to take?
Just make sure my camera's focusing.
Yeah, you just blurred out. I was just going to tell you that you blurred out.
Yeah, I know. It's being weird. Hold on.
Tap away, my friend. Tap away.
I don't know what it's doing. It's got plenty of light. I don't know. Let's see.
It's screaming. It's not screaming low light at you, is it?
I'm sorry.
It's not screaming low light at you, is it?
No.
No, that's weird because we know it works in lower light than that. So
yeah, no, it's all good.
the ZV, the bane of our existence, and dying batteries on USB connections. Always fun.
You know, you pick up the helicopter article.
All right.
If you want, yeah, and have at it and go from there.
All right. So continuing in our approach of basically looking at things that are flying in the sky. it's interesting to me when an article pops up, and it's especially through Vertical Mag or one of the magazines that we read on a regular basis, and out pops basically an understanding that the helicopter market is not dead. There's still competitors that want to enter the helicopter market, and one of them happens to be Hill. Now, Hill Helicopters, which is very, very strange, is trying to take a different approach towards certification. The helicopter in and of itself is not strange or ugly, okay? The helicopter is actually quite gorgeous. They're using advanced technologies. They're going with the old style format, the Fenestron tail, which is basically a copy of a Eurocopter to a degree, retractable landing gear as it appears here. And this thing is absolutely and totally gorgeous. There is no denying the fact that in a tri-bladed system, which is going to appear to be very smooth, the actual physical structure of the aircraft being 5 seats and turbine powered is phenomenal. It is basically looking to break into the entire industry as a whole, where basically this other part would normally fall to like a Robinson R44 or maybe a
Right.
Bell 505, which is the old variant or the newer variant of the 206, and bring people the actual opportunity to fly and own a turbine helicopter, which is amazing. Okay, and that's really nice. It's really nice to see that someone is having the forethought to do this. However, the way that they're going to do it is normally the process that it takes, or what it would take to certify a helicopter in any way, shape, or form, is lengthy. Meaning that in order for you to apply for the type certification, in order for the FAA to approve it, in order for it to become provable as a test flying bed, and then make it through the subsequent testing there and thereafter, could take 5 years. Okay, and it's expensive. It's not a cheap process because your maintenance programs have to be approved. The maintenance on the aircraft, the airframe, the power plant, all these other parts have to be approved. However, there is one way around that. And they're looking at this as part of a possibility. That is, they plan to bring it to market by making you, yes, you, part of the process in the certification and building of the helicopter. And by doing such, they're attempting to bring this helicopter to market at a cost of about $665,000 US. So for a 5-seat helicopter to hit the marketplace, turbine, right? To hit the marketplace, and you guys can go and look at the research on your own. This thing is gorgeous. It's beautiful. I've already gone at lengths as to what it actually means, but Corey, you just hit on it. What do you think that means towards the marketplace and helicopters? A 5-seat turbine coming in at under 700,000, which could be approved using the home build kind of process with the tutelage of the company to bring it to market, possibly 2 to 3 years sooner.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I mean, one thing, just expand on what Mike was saying. Reading through, it looks like the way you're going to interact with the company in terms of building it is, it looks like an on-site. So you'll actually, it's not sold as a kit. I'm not sure you mentioned that, but it's not kit. You
No,
don't
it's
build
not a
it
kit,
yourself like as a kit.
Right.
You go to the actual factory and you spend, I think it says like a 2-week course building the machine. You're guided by the licensed mechanics and designers, like they're at the course.
Right.
So they're literally helping you go through it. So obviously it would help if you're like an AMP or something, or somewhat mechanically inclined to know. But
that would help.
They're not saying that that's required. So again, you're going to be there with the experts at the factory on site building your machine in person. And for that, like you said, to be a 5-seat, looks like it comes with glass. I'm wondering what kind of like avionics are included and all that, but details.
Sure.
But, it's quite intriguing to, like you said, a 5-seat. It reminds me of an H160. It's an attractive looking machine.
Yeah, it does.
It's a turbine. It's 3-bladed. I didn't see, are the blades probably are composite blades. I mean, it's intriguing. I want to see exactly about the certification process, because one thing to note is usually amateur built aircraft can't be used for commercial ops.
Right.
So I'm still a little bit wondering how that goes for this, because it's not, it's amateur built, but it's not like, you know what I mean? Like I'm not quite sure.
It's still gorgeous. Number one,
how this goes.
Neither am I. And the other part of it is that I think the other stipulation is you have to build at least 51% of the aircraft is one of the things that they're saying as well, in order for it to get around this part of the certification process. However,
Yeah.
if they short, if they short that lengthy process and they have the ability to bring this thing to market, at that price, that's profound, I think.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I think it's
Yep.
this really, really, really. It says they have an opportunity. Now the thing is, we've seen this type of opportunity fail also before in this marketplace. Although I don't think I've seen this approach in particular. But in the interior of this thing looks gorgeous. I mean, it's just
It
absolutely
does.
phenomenal.
These are obviously renders, but it looks really, really intriguing. Like you said, I would be very interested to to literally talk to these people too,
Right?
and see what the inner details we can maybe get. One thing to note, again, we're not sure where you guys are visiting us from, but it's something to note that in here they do specify the HX50 is what it's called, is being designed to meet FAA and European EASA standards, certification standards. So they're aiming to be able to go anywhere with this thing,
Mm-hmm.
obviously. So it's quite interesting. Um, it says basically they're on their way to having a flying prototype. So they actually does not appear they have a flying model yet, or a flying actual unit prototype flying.
Right.
So we'll see. I'm very interested to see not only what it looks like when it's like the final design, let's call it, but also what they might say about the packages. Like what are they actually thinking to build? Because like Mike, you kind of alluded to on a moment ago there, like how much a percentage of the owner or of someone like that does have to build it for it to still fall under whatever business model they're going as far as certification.
Right. Right. Right.
Because in a 2-week course with somebody who's not mechanically inclined, is it going to be like big components are built and you're putting them together and like, that kind of thing, or you can't possibly be inside. So you're not going to wire the whole thing yourself.
No.
I just don't see stuff like that happening. I mean, there's miles of wire in these things. So
It's
yeah,
interesting.
it's one of these. I just want to know more.
I do,
Yes. Do you
because
want to know more?
I see
Yes.
their, yeah, I do. I see their ideal
Yeah.
option for private owners is listed here, but it doesn't. You're
Yeah.
right. It doesn't give
Yep.
any. It says factory built, comprehensive, hands-on factory training. It turns around and it's building a case for basically they're going to be part of what it sounds like your management and ownership of the aircraft, so you really can't make any mistakes there. And at that cost, again, that could be revolutionary in the way that it approaches it. If it can do this, okay, it's interesting to me to see how they're going to be able to get this done, but could be neat.
There something of note here. I'm reading the details that might be something for us to watch. It does say in here that the UK CAA has been, quote, incredibly supportive, end quote, of the concept to date. And while Brexit has caused angst in some corners of the aerospace industry, the gentleman they interviewed is optimistic it will provide an advantage for the HX50. And then they go on to talk about obviously Brexit and how the UK CAA is no longer, there's going to be its own entity, not connected to EASA. We're a little bit maybe slightly off topic, but if you guys know what I'm talking about, basically there's like the FAA in America, and then all the states are authorized under the FAA, right? FAA rules.
Right.
Over in the European Union, when before the UK left, or England and UK left through Brexit left, their aviation industry was still connected through EASA as well, but they still had their own authority called the UK CAA, the Civil Aviation Authority. Well, now that obviously Brexit's happened, the CAA and the UK is going to have a bit more of its own autonomy, obviously.
Right.
And it appears that Hill Helicopters is kind of going after a bit of the UK CAA for their certification. Although that's maybe a whole nother question to see, because I'm not up to speed on the newest things on what. Okay, if an aircraft is, let's say, in the test phase now certified under the UK CAA, how does that look to get it certified under EASA over in the rest of
Well,
Europe?
and we have experience with some of that
I don't
because
know. Yeah,
yeah,
we've dealt with that
we've dealt with
those
that
kind of
before.
questions before, and in our previous one of our previous jobs, and
So yeah, integrating something between the EASA and the
yeah,
FAA turns out to be sometimes a difficult experience. It can be, and knowing
yeah, doesn't
knowing that
have to
some of
be.
those
Yeah.
regulations kind of tie over closely, but sometimes they're EASA tends to have a slightly different standard which you have to meet is going to be difficult. Although, boy, look at this one. This is something that I find really great. It does have 500 millimeter wide seats, which is great because half the helicopter seats in the industry suck. Number 2, it's got 4-point harnesses, which is nice. Number 3,
Yeah.
it's got full climate control. Full
What?
climate control and
What?
Bluetooth connectivity. Now, Corey and I can speak to the fact that flying helicopters in 90-degree plus heat without air conditioning sucks.
In black pants,
In black
you know, because
pants.
you gotta look the part, you know,
Yes.
you got your professional job, and it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's
I'm gonna smile and keep doing my thing, but I am on fire.
my legs are burning off my body. So anyhow, folks,
Yeah.
just to introduce that one to you, we're gonna probably try to explore more on this, but it's an interesting concept to see come out into the helicopter industry.
Yep.
To see that
No,
it's not dead. They're going to be actually taking up their stances and trying to produce better equipment to compete with a vertical flight future that we see is being challenged all the time. So good to see that traditional type of flying might still exist. We'll see. Awesome. And remember, if you get a chance and you like what we have to say, like, subscribe, follow, and we appreciate all the massive growth here on the channel. And we've got one other thing that strikes a little close to home on this one. And going back to our roots of gaming, Corey's going to talk to you about, well, something.
Aliens, man.
Aliens. You want me to roll the video first?
Sure, have at it.
I can roll a video on this one because let me just key this bad boy up because this should be a load of fun. Let's just check this back.
Should be good.
Well. What do we have here, Corey?
So as it says, it's Aliens Fireteam. You can see a whole bunch of the things that's coming out to Steam. So PC, console, a whole bunch of stuff like that. Basically, it's a co-op to Colonial Marines, which I played as well. Had one thing about this game, the Colonial Marines game, was that it really sets the stage again, like how it would feel. Again, you're not like the hero. You're just a team on the ground, and you got to deal with these aliens. And it goes back to kind of the older style of Aliens, where it really sets the mood, the ambience, and you're in a you're in a place you really don't want to be.
You mean Alien Meat?
And it's co-op, which is one thing. A lot of these games we like these days are co-op. We like playing with friends, and they've picked up that banner, of course, with this coming up game for Aliens, and yeah, it's going to be a co-op game. It goes on to talk about it. It's going to go through all of the levels and stages that the Aliens Colonial Marines game went through, but obviously it's all set. It's all co-op.
Yes.
Right. So the whole game, just like you wanted to play it in the past, you wanted to be like, why can't I play this with all my friends? You can soon.
Well, we ran into problems with Colonial Marines, if I remember correctly, and I can't remember. We didn't enjoy it as much because the issues that I think that were really problematic were, I think you either had a chance to play as the aliens or the Marines, and it was like you were hunting each other.
Few different modes, and yeah, I mean, I just remember there's a lot of graphical problems when the game first came out.
True,
It
that was
seemed
true.
it didn't look quite as good as it should, and then I had some other issues with just runtime performance stuff, and it wasn't my machine. I know I troubleshooted that. It wasn't my machine, but and there's a lot of patches I think that came out for it, but it did get quite playable later. But by then, it's kind of one of those where when you release a game, you want it to be as good as possible. The opening. It's not to bring it back again, but like Cyberpunk, the game's cool. but man, it's got some problems and doesn't look so great. That's like first impression. So
And it's really interesting because if you don't remember, one of the first forays of any game that was the Alien universe was Alien versus Predator, and this is for the Atari Jaguar. This went back to the infancy of 64-bit gaming, where basically Rebellion Studios was looking to capitalize on what at that time was the success of Wolfenstein 4D or 3D. Well, no, 3D was it, and they basically made a sprite-based game with the same kind of graphics engine that Wolfenstein was, and they tried to make an Alien versus Predator game, which for back then it wasn't bad, but there's been a few attempts, I'd say, recently. What was the other one where you're basically stuck on a derelict ship and you're trying to walk through the night, and that one was really scary in the Alien universe. What was it, like Oblivion?
Alien Isolation.
Isolation.
So, which is pretty new. Well, not, I guess it's not new now, but
yeah.
it's pretty recent. And yeah, that game really
you couldn't play with
gave
the
you the feeling you're up against something you cannot beat. You just have to literally, your job is just to survive and get out, because you can't kill this thing, and it's a cat and mouse the entire game, and it's not fun for you a lot of times.
True. And I'm happy because look, Aliens is an old franchise now, right? From the original Alien to Aliens, when Cameron really stepped up
Alien
the game,
3,
and Alien 3, Alien Resurrection. I mean, Alien
versus
Predators.
Like I said. But there's there's a lot.
There's so much, but the fact that this one goes back to the core of the real Alien franchise that we all like, and there's going to be, I think, 11 different types of enemies, which sounds cool. There's going to be
11 Xenos.
11 Xenos. There's going to be authentic weapons from the original movie that Jim Cameron held. So that's going to be awesome to see that some of those instances we could play through. And I'm excited to see if this actually can work, because a lot of Alien games have come out before, but where I thought we were going to see Colonial Marines really make that jump into the mass market, like where it was going to be like almost Halo-esque. They'd always kind of fumbled, right?
It didn't. Yeah. I'm interested to see. It does say that you'll be playing in groups of 3, and they also say that there's 5 classes of players, types of people you can play. So it's interesting to say. Obviously, there's probably going to be like a lot of other first-person co-op where they each have their niche, and since there's 5 classes but only 3 people on a team, you gotta pick what you're gonna do, because you can't get everything. It looks like. Which I kind of like in a way.
Weird.
They did say also it's not supposed to be easy. This game is supposed to be difficult.
So interesting, and I think they also said that they were going to make it that you could scale the easiness, because they know some people just might want to play through the campaign and not really be challenged, because they want to be, participating in that universe, which is okay. But it's an interesting thing that the minute you said 5 classes, but 3 players, I went, replayability is going to have to be really, really high if you're going to want to go back through the entire, campaign again and play as a different class, because the first time around, if something did or didn't change, or you wouldn't have been able to complete this side goal or get this thing done, so on and so forth. So I hope the storyline is there that makes it a strong enough condition where it's just not basically more aliens being, swarmed on top of you wave after wave, and you actually have some consistency in building mission strength or following a storyline, because I think that'll make that better.
You bring up interesting points about replayability. And as you're describing that, I'm thinking to myself, what's a game that really is replayable these days that's co-op? And I instantly had to think of Deep Rock. But there's a game, and we won't get too much into it, but there's a game, a cartoony kind of game called Deep Rock Galactic with dwarves. You play as dwarves, and you're in a mining operation.
Rock and stone.
You got to go down and you mine in these caves. But what I'm bringing up there is how well that game has integrated semi-random level design on the fly. So the games are not ever the same. And with a game like Colonial Marines, though, we can already say it's not going to be like that, because it's based on the previous campaign. So I'm kind of going with you there with replayability of this game. I'm very interested to see.
I think you just sold actually that game very, very short, believe it or not, because it was
Which one?
Deep Rock. Deep Rock. We've
Oh yeah,
played
Deep
many
Rock's. We
hours.
could talk about Deep Rock as
I
well,
do want
but
to bring it up because it's a great comparison, because you do make a flashpoint there, whereas without randomness in the game, which Deep Rock does have random levels in which sometimes you're literally there 35 minutes into a level and you're like, you look at the map and you go, where the hell are we and how are we going
yeah,
to get
because
out of
it's
here?
different every
Because it's
time.
different every time, and you don't have that ability to really say we have a one attack plan. You have a one. Everybody has a role, but the attack plan is always different because you might just suddenly have to change a little bit in what you were doing with your resources to try to attempt to finish the level, right?
You literally have to
Which
figure your way out because there's not a. It's not like you
mm,
just said, Mike. It's like, okay, we played this level before. When we blow up this reactor, we got to go to wherever we got to go. Well, Deep Rock isn't always like that because a lot of times when you escape in a Deep Rock level, there's a machine that comes down and drills down to you, and everybody gets on, and it drills up and takes you to safety. That usually doesn't happen until the mission's done, like until you beat it.
and unless you want to
And you
meet
don't know
the
where that's gonna
main,
be.
yeah,
It's not.
you don't know where it's going to be, and you don't know if you're going to be able to complete the side quests. And then there's even more stuff that happens on that. But you know what? Now you made me sad, because if this game doesn't have that same measurability towards having you achieve those goals in a way where you do have to go back and play as other classes, maybe I'm going to be bored by it. But the problem is, I think I still have Colonial Marine installed, or at least I still have the game. I still have it. So it'd be interesting to see if I would just be like plop it in and run and go with that. So
I also have it. I also own Colonial Marines.
I own
it's
it.
not installed as well,
Yep.
but it's. I actually, you bring up another good point there. Actually, since we have Colonial Marines,
We got to pay for this.
well, we can reinstall and see
if it works.
How much, how it's doing if it's
Right.
got patches lately. But also, do we have to buy the whole version of
I don't know.
Fireteam? Because
first of all, if the graphics match what they say in that video, if there's anything even close to what those graphics look like, I will be amazed, because while Colonial Marine was not bad looking, it wasn't a graphic smash as the way that I thought it would be in that, sense. Because if I remember, it came out right around the time of Prometheus, and Prometheus pushed the graphics level in Prometheus in and of itself, in just the way that it looked, was phenomenal. And I was like, ooh, a little disappointed that it didn't really like get me there, right? It didn't bring me to that next level. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens there. But hey, 70 mods, 30 weapons, who knows? Beyond perk board and enhanced modified players' abilities. It looks like I might have a summer game to look forward to. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? We're gonna be so busy with other stuff, so that there's that. But hey, if you guys get a chance and you know a little bit more about it, let us know, because it would be nice to know more in-depth information on it. But it looks like summer 2021 is when it's going to finally come out, and it says Steam.
I see that.
I wonder, I wonder if it's going to go early access.
Yeah, it's got PS4, PS5, Windows, PC, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and then summer. So it's available for everything if you guys have played Colonial Marines. But again, that's another thing too. We'll probably mention as well when we find out, is if you guys already own Colonial Marines, is this a whole nother purchase? And let's just say, even if you don't own the previous game, since this is the same missions, maybe not exactly, but it's the same campaign. Would anybody are they expecting people to pay $50 to $60 if they didn't have the previous game? Like,
I don't know. Good point. Good question. Good question. Anyhow, all right. Well, with that said, we got more stuff to invest. I don't think that there's much more to discuss on that one, but we do have something to look. Should we do a future drop? What'd you put in the comments? I don't have to go read them. Do I have to go read them?
You mean the tags?
Yeah, hold on. I gotta first. Give me a minute.
I did tag it. I'm not gonna say anything, obviously, but if you go down to the tags and you look about halfway through the tags, you'll see what I put in there. I can take out something if you wanted me to take out that one tag that pretty plainly says what it is.
Oh, did you? Well, take out the one that plainly, because here we're gonna have.
There we go.
Something that's going to be different, right? It's out. Okay, so we're going to do something here that we've promised that we would do. And we know unboxing videos are old news, and everybody's not really into unboxing videos. However, we're going to do a live unboxing. Okay, it's probably going to be on Friday.
Yeah.
It's going to be a live unboxing. we're gonna do something that, and look, if one of you guys can guess it in the comments below, and if you haven't looked at the description before Corey took it out, okay, if one of you guys can guess it, awesome. But we'd like to see a comment below on what you think that we could possibly unbox, okay, in this studio that we could go and fly. Okay, and this is going to be an experience where two pilots are going to take the opportunity to fly something completely new. And it's going to be interesting. I hope for you guys. And we're going to have a couple episodes dealing with this one as well that we're going to produce on the backside. But we're both going to get an opportunity to show you some stuff that we could do in a whole new manner. So we're excited with that one. And if anybody can guess what it is in the comments below, awesome. That'd be great.
Awesome.
Well, hey, so I was born in New York. Give me a break. Awesome, man. Awesome. All right, so I guess we got to start looking at what the future schedule is going to be for rocket launches. Did the thing go in Boca Chica or no?
It is right now. They are they're venting the farm, the fuel farm that holds the liquid oxygen and the kerosene. But it's not the ship itself. The vehicle itself is not venting, so they're not done with the fueling or anything. Last I had seen is they had some. There was something I think stuck somewhere. Is what I was catching the comments, and some people came in, like drove the trucks in, so they were on site, and it looks like they may have left now, but no, it hasn't gone yet. It's not canceled though either. So if you guys are still keeping track of the SpaceX Starship SN10 test flight, still set for today currently, and it's live right now. But
which one has gone live? Which viewing of it?
I'm on Nerdle Cam.
Nerdle Cam.
Yeah, I can send a link if you want.
Sure, go ahead and send it to me. I want to check it out. I had another one that was up before.
Hold on, I'll put it on the iCloud document and you can pull it from there.
Oh, okay, good. Sweet. It's in the iCloud.
Hold on.
It's not there yet.
Oh, I know. I tried to log into it through my browser, and I'm using that browser doesn't have my auto login. So hold on.
We're just gonna take a pop in here on the Starship and see where they're at in Boca Chica, because from what my understanding was, they initially went through their first, I guess,
it's up near the title.
I got it.
Look at the title.
Yeah, I got it. I got it right there. So they went to go run this first, and basically what they're doing.
Yep, cool.
Is looking at, there was a flap like part that they were looking at moving or not, and we're just going to bounce in here really quick and just see that there they are. They're SN10 venting. This is not our stream, so we're just poking in just to see where they were at and see if they're going to possibly get a chance to launch here from Boca Chica in not too distant future. And obviously that's not our specialty to cover here, although we're interested in it and we'll probably watch it ourselves. We don't have any live cameras, so we'll just have to wait like everybody else. So if it goes, that'll be new stuff to talk about, hopefully on Friday. But Friday
looks like they're having issues. So
there's no more issues.
They are having video issues.
Oh, they are having. Well, we know about those.
Yep, so there you go.
Cool. All right, everybody. Anyway. Well, that'll do it for us today. I don't have anything else to contribute. Do you?
I'm good. Excited for Friday?
Yes. I'm very excited for Friday. Hopefully, yes. Just gonna say that everything so far is going smoothly. So I'm excited, and it should be fun. I'm actually really excited. It should be great. All right. It should be very good. So with that said, thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks for the new subs. We will check you guys out again on Friday, and then probably going to try to get another short out here over the weekend and start planning for our next excursion and a couple other activities. Okay?
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
That short could probably have something to do with Friday's thing, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, because we got so much work to do. Got tons of work, and you hopefully you guys are going to really enjoy it. So we'll take a look. With that said, thank you so much, and we will check in with you guys again come Friday. Take care.
Will do. Take it easy, everybody.
Peace. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Music.